and habeas corpus is a controversial topic right now. So if you don't know what habeas corpus is basically a legal principle that allows people who believe they are being unlawfully detained or imprisoned to petition for their release. So right now, there is a petition going on. But the reason that this is a hot topic right now is because Donald Trump has came out and said he's thinking about possibly suspending habeas corpus.
He on his fuck shit.
Meaning they said that they didn't want illegal immigrants to have due process or whatever the case. So if an immigrant got wrongly convicted or whatever the case and got the habeas corpus, they would be able to sue. So they want to just low-key, what they should do is low-key just deport them out of here. If they here illegally or whatever and do a crime, then let their country do it. But what was happening was they was coming to our prisons, shit happening. You might get it illegal who's not even supposed to be here, get a payday off mistreatment in there, blah, 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 blah. So it make you look at the immigration when they was letting all these people in like, damn, this is just another little loophole that they was using the mass immigration for. So we're going to be affected by it, though, if they suspend it. Because now you could be jailed for anything, and it don't matter. Ain't nothing getting you out. You see other countries right now, they getting put in jail for shit they saying on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the wrong thing on Facebook. 3 months in jail, 6 months in jail, 2 years. Like, they are people in other countries getting locked up for words. So that's what it looks like to me, because before Trump was elected, they was talking all this Project 2025 and it's going to be martial law. It's going to be this. We're finna lose all of these rights. And slowly but surely, you starting to see little shit trickle down right now. Like, wait a minute, that really don't make sense. Why would you get rid of habeas corpus?
Well, and again, like, this is why I you know, with him and Elon and certain people, I always kind of said, like, I fuck with him, but you got to keep him out of arm's distance, because a lot of great leaders use certain things and certain agendas to, I feel like, as a blanket to do other things, right? I think immigration is one of those things, because like you're saying, I'm using getting rid of habeas corpus as, okay, immigrants can sue, but then it's going to affect everybody else.
The American citizens.
What if the whole point of it is to really affect us? And again, the immigration thing is just a blanket.
I don't fuck with none of this shit. That's why I don't put my faith in none of these politicians, none of these niggas. I don't stand behind none of these niggas, because they wishy-washy. You never know their true agendas. They want to know everything about us, but don't want us to know nothing about them. I know, though, for a fact that a lot of people have, even with the life without the possibility of parole, have been getting out, getting cases overturned with the habeas corpus law. And the percentage of people that's going to prison and getting out and staying out is become higher. So like you said, to me, this is just a blanket to cover that, but to keep the numbers and the population of the prison and keep them people pleased. It's a business at the end of the day.
I was about to say, it's a
we gotta remember it's a business, $1 trillion business, and they want to keep people in there. So you had an action at fighting your case or reopening your case, they don't want to see that. They're starting to see the numbers shifting. And this is what I was getting about them turning these yards over. They're turning a lot of these prison yards over because now if you leave a 4-yard and go to a 3-yard, say you might go to a counselor and be like, what 3 yards are good? These 3 yards are good. But they be like, nope, we sending you over here to where all the PCs is at. They're going to send a bus of people that they know are trying to be better, but they know that in order for them to get here, they like, you got to program with them if you saying you really changed. But for the most part, them niggas that's GP, it's going to be worse for them if they program with them. So they going to get cracking, and that's going to look back on effect on them and say, y'all not ready to go back in society.
More time.
Yeah, now you're going to get more time. You're going to get your level boosted back up. It's all a big cover up to the point, hamster wheel that gets you caught up in it, but to keep you in there. You're never designed to get out. It's easy to get in. You're never designed to get out that motherfucker.
It's all about the bread, though. And then look who the president is. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? One thing about him, he a businessman at the end of the day. That's why everybody was praising him back in the day, because he, you know what I'm saying, stood on his business, so to say. Feel me? And then with this law, he's just looking at it. I feel like, all right, he know this shit's built on corruption. So like you said, if you got people, the numbers is changing and shit, he like, oh, we got to get rid of this shit, because at the end of the day, we going to be losing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he basically Trump, what I see, he be trying to save money, be looking like he, you know, the rich nigga always trying to be the cheap nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like he doing. He trying to save all this money just for whatever the fuck the master plan gonna be. So he, like you said, taking away little programs and trying to take Obamacare away and shit. All the shit that costs money for the government to spend, he trying to get like save in a way. That's why
When they
I
say
feel
the
like he
money,
trying to
what
get
they
away
gonna
with
do
this
with
law.
the money? Nothing.
Yeah.
They go pocket that.
Okay, so the Constitution allows habeas corpus to be suspended only when, in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it. So, rebellion and invasion, when the public safety may require it. The Constitution makes clear that the suspension of habeas corpus is to be reserved strictly for that rebellion or invasion posing the most dire threats to public safety. Now, what do we consider dire threats to public safety? That's a whole nother conversation. Who decides that?
Mhm.
And Congress has never passed a law authorizing deportations without any court involvement. So once again, now we got all these mass immigrants. It turns this shit all, you know what I'm saying? Could that be a dire threat to public safety? The illegals that they saying was so dangerous and this and that. Now, and that's an invasion, right?
Mhm.
All these illegal immigrants invaded
in.
the country.
Yeah.
So now you starting to see the dots connect, because what you got to always do is pay attention to the language. They've been saying invasion, invasion, invasion. They're invading the country. They're invading the country. They've been saying that for damn near the last year. All
They're
over
grooming us
every
with that
news
term, and
network.
then,
So
yeah.
now they groom you with the term. So now when they bam hit us with this, that's what's in the Constitution. The Constitution says they can do that for this. But the danger with this is when you get locked up, you have no right to a court to say that you're being unlawfully detained. So just imagine that. They lock you up for whatever the fuck they want, and you now no longer have a right to say this is unlawful. And they can detain you for as long as they want. So your ass finna be up in that county jail for fucking 25 years with no damn court date.
It's like taking it back to the Patriot Act. Like during times of war, they're able, or times of duress, they're able to infiltrate things
You
and
damn
push
near got
things
kidnapped
in.
and died.
Yeah, like that. Oh, this is urgent. Let's put a camera on every corner. Let's bug every phone. Let's monitor every web browser. Let's do these different things, and we accept it as okay because we think it's for the betterment. And then as you see,
It was
years
the
down
fear
the
of
line,
terrorists,
it was to keep us confined or more security on us, or just to keep us down. This could be very well the same type
I'm
of
gonna
thing.
call it. I'm gonna call it bullshit though. I'm gonna call it bullshit down the line because, like I said, it's just a cover up. Because if the immigrants are over here illegal already, they're already breaking the law. So to even give them a chance to you need them to go to court because you're going to deport them anyway. So what do you need the habeas corpus for them to fight a case about something when the law has already been broken by them being here?
Because with the habeas corpus,
Due
they're
process.
entitled to due process now. So right here it says that the Supreme Court issued a murky, unsigned order on April 7th, allowing Trump to use the century-old Alien Enemies Act to speed up deportations for now, while at the same time, the court said migrants subject to deportation under the act were entitled to notice and opportunity to challenge their removal through federal habeas corpus petitions, marking a partial win for migrants. So basically what you're saying makes sense. You're saying they're already committing a crime, get them out of here. But under habeas corpus, no. They can file a petition and make claim, oh, I had a baby over here, family here, I got, they
That's why
can
he's trying
find a
to
way
get rid of the
through the
birthright
loophole, you know what I'm
citizenship.
saying?
He's trying to
But
get
you
rid of
know
all
what's-
those loopholes.
You know
yeah.
what's crazy? I don't really even see nothing wrong with giving them the opportunity for that because I think I seen a lady.
Got pulled over?
Nah, she didn't even
Oh.
get pulled over. I think she was Hispanic in her house, but she was trying to go through the process. They wouldn't let her go through the process, but she's been living out here for 60 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they ready to get her up out of here. It's like if you a citizen that just been living correct and you're not invading in a threatening way, and you've been here long enough, you're damn near U.S. citizen at this point. So you should, when they go to court, they should be able to go through that process. The same way, y'all ever seen Scarface when they came through from Cuba?
Mhm.
And remember he was like, why
He had
should
the
you be
papers.
here and all
Yeah,
that? You had to
yeah.
get the papers. And he like, nah, stamp them, get them. Oh, you got that tattoo, you one of them, you're done. Like they should do a process like that. Allow people to come through. If you a programming citizen and you ain't really got nothing going on, you're not a threat to society, yes, they should allow them to still continue to go through that. But Trump, like, we ain't doing all that. Get them up out of here.
I just don't want to fast track the immigrants that are legally trying to get it done. Because then the ones who's actually trying to go through the proper way of getting it done, then they're going to be like, well, I have to go through this paperwork. How can they like cut in front of the line? That's just the only way. That's the only thing I'm just going to disagree. Because people out here that's really trying to do it.
Why you
saying
American
cut-
dream?
You're not necessarily cutting
the line.
You're
What
not.
I'm saying is
what I'm
people
saying
paying
is,
to play.
how are you cutting in front of the line if they're picking up every illegal immigrant? That means y'all all going through the same process. That y'all all are getting court dates.
And you're detained in the
Yeah,
meantime.
you're detained.
Bro,
Yeah,
what y'all gotta
you're not
realize.
cutting in the line.
My bad. What y'all gotta realize too is them being in jail, going through all this due process. We're paying for that
exactly.
tax money. So why in the fuck would someone who's not even supposed to be here in the first place
That's taken away from us.
taken away from us again? But has so people probably wondering, has this ever been suspended before?
That makes
Habeas
this point
corpus.
even more relevant to me. No, go ahead.
No, habeas corpus. We can get to that.
Yeah.
Habeas corpus has been suspended only 4 times in U.S. history, including under former President Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. The other 3 times include in 11 South Carolina countries, overrun, ironically, by the Ku Klux Klan during Reconstruction, in 2 provinces of the Philippines during a 1905 insurrection, and in Hawaii after the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
So these are like catastrophic
Traffic
events
Yeah.
compared to them allowing the immigrants to come in, because they allowed them to come in
The
to
open
try to
door
fuck
policy,
off
yep.
to try to fuck off the election, to not let Trump get elected. So I don't see this as some crazy invasion where they just came guns blazing. No, bro, y'all opened y'all
what
doors.
you just said, you're going to groom them with the term. They're invading the country and things like. When you start grooming that term, they was like, yeah, they're taking over. So once you start creating that term, then you're going to equate that with them taking over.
Yeah.
They've been here since the day I was born.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but what the terminology is, you can manipulate it and twist it as if they're doing something that they really not.
Not
Yeah,
that. What it
I
is, it's a
understand
it's a dehumanization in a way. It's like
It is.
if I defame you enough within the media, we talk about this with the celebrities. If I do that enough time and ramp up smear at that point, then
Yeah.
whatever happened to you, I don't really care at that point.
well,
because
that's why they call them aliens.
I already, yeah. I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest,
they call them
yeah, like,
illegal aliens.
because at that point, then it's like, well, get these niggas.
The propaganda is
But his
beginning
point
now.
made more sense to me too, because if what you said, we're paying for them to be here, and if we get rid of habeas corpus, they would just be gone, right?
No, I mean, when they, let's say you got caught committing a crime using illegal, you don't have no due process.
You're just
try
in
to
there.
convince a way of you staying, you're automatically deported. You're out of here. Because right now, if you get caught, the automatic solution is to deport you. But under habeas corpus, they can file a petition and prolong that and possibly win and get their rights to stay. Without habeas corpus, it ain't nothing.
They
As
just
soon as
gone.
you caught, you just gone. So even though that's technically a win, we don't got to pay for them to go to court and figure out how they could be here. It's like, no, go back, get your papers right. That will fuck citizens. Because now
But that
they
will
can just
bring up
lock
his
you the
point
fuck
more
up.
of how they
That's
release
what
people
I'm
into the yards
saying.
to filter back the numbers, pretty much, right? Like
Exactly.
keep it.
And
where it
I
was.
don't like that, because I know niggas that's behind them walls that's using that as
Using that
a
code.
way, as a means to try to get up out of there. So it's not only going to affect them, it's going to affect us. It's not no benefit. You can find a better way to go about it than I believe, than using the habeas corpus and getting rid of it.
But at that point, though, is getting home or following the code more important? Once you get boned down, though,
What you mean?
you were just saying like they gotta get filtered down to that younger, I mean, the lower ranking, the lower yard. And if they, general pop,
They trying to go.
if they got a pro, yeah.
It's
so
a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose for them, right?
It is, but-
this is what I mean though. So it doesn't matter if you go to them lower yards and anything happens. You want to keep your name good. You want to keep certain things. You still have to answer to certain people as being a gang member. So when you go there, you have let's give it say you maybe got your first unlock. The first time, if you go to that yard and you don't get cracking, like if they let you go to medical, anything like that, this is going to follow you. Especially people with a gang of time. Just imagine you're somebody with 20 years and they want to send you to one of them yards. What's going to be more important?
Yeah,
I gotta live life in here. I gotta live life in here.
Yeah, but I more so was just making it about people in general, not just gang members. Because, I mean, from the direction and what it's looking like, they're trying to make all yards 50-50 is what it look like.
Now,
Yeah.
And when they do, it ain't gonna be a damn thing you can do about it. So all them people who went to that 50-50 yard and was no good on these other yards, what are you gonna do now when they make that yard exactly the same in every single yard? So the whole point is to stay your ass out of jail.
But
the problem is getting rid of this. you could be put in jail
And
for
don't have a chance.
anything and don't have no action. So that's more important than worrying about what some niggas on the yard is doing. No, the citizens that's out here right now fuck around and get locked up for some fucked up shit that they didn't do, and they ass is cooked. They can't get out. It ain't no,
But I believe-
you locked me up wrong. No, none of that.
I believe the habeas corpus comes into play after you already sentenced. Like, you still have a right to go to a trial and fight your case.
To be proven.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you won't just go to jail and just be like, you stuck. Like,
No, you are. No, what I'm saying is they can detain you. You can lose the case, and then you're done. It ain't no
there's no habeas corpus.
corpus.
You got to thug it out till your
You
time
gotta
is
thug
over.
it out.
Yeah,
Because if
that-
they already throwing you in for something you didn't do, automatically the game is rigged. You're cooked anyways. They're gonna make sure you go to jail, and now they're gonna make sure you can't get out at all. But we'll see what goes on with that.